This is the sinkhole incident, one of the worst deaths imaginable, explained. This was Jeffrey Bush, who lived in Florida. And he lived in a home with his brother, his sister-in-law, and his niece. The house was built in the 1970s, and there was never any indication that there was anything wrong with the house. But on the night of February 28th, 2013, Jeffrey Bush was sleeping in his room when all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, Jeffrey's brother Jeremy heard his brother screaming. They heard him screaming for help and also heard some really loud crashing noises. And when Jeremy got to the room and looked inside, Jeffrey was gone. His bed was gone, his dresser was gone, his TV was gone, because a massive sinkhole opened up in Jeffrey's room and swallowed everything inside. At the time, Jeremy said the sinkhole was about 20 feet wide and roughly 6 to 7 feet deep. And Jeremy, not thinking of anything, just jumped into the hole to see if he could find his brother. He said he thought he heard his brother calling his name and screaming for help, but he couldn't actually see Jeffrey anywhere. It was just a dark chasm with Jeffrey's furniture and water pouring in everywhere. Within minutes, firefighters and rescue workers were there. And because sinkholes are so unpredictable, the rescuers just pulled Jeremy out immediately. And they all then left the house. In fact, the sinkhole was still crumbling. The first thing the rescue team did was get a microphone and put it onto a string, and they then put it into the sinkhole to see if they could hear any sounds of life. But they didn't hear a thing. But as they were doing this, the sinkhole collapsed again, and at that point it spread to be about 30 feet wide and about 20 feet deep, which is just crazy. There was no safe way of trying to see if they can even save Jeffrey Bush's life, or recover a body if he was dead. I don't know, and they don't know how long he survived, but based on the fact that he was screaming for help, means he was likely alive for a few minutes before being crushed to death or suffocating. It was literally impossible to get his body. They then tore down the home and built a fence around where the sinkhole is, and then poured it with a bunch of asphalt, burying Jeffrey forever. They also said there's a slim chance his body could get picked up by a nearby waterway, but it's extremely unlikely. 2 years later, the sinkhole reopened and they then had to demolish all the homes around it. This death is absolutely terrifying, and may Jeffrey Bush rest in peace.